Good morning and a warm welcome to the students of Srimati R.S. Kaladia Primary School English Medium Junagadh. My name is Prachi Lakhani and today we are going to study about the new topic of the civics whose name is Indian Constitution. Now in this chapter we are going to just discuss about this particular 5 points. First of all, we are going to start with introduction of this particular chapter. Then how was the Constitution of India formed? That we are going to have a discussion for that particular topic. Then we are going to study about the salient features of our Constitution. In that particular topic we are going to study about secularism, republic and democratic rule by the salient features of our Constitution. Then we are going to study about the federal state of our country India, and the last topic which we are going to discuss, that is the fundamental right of our Indian Constitution. So let us start with the first topic of the Indian Constitution. Now let us start with the first topic, that is the preamble of the Constitution. Now in our country India, before the independence, we got independence on 15th August 1947. Before that, Britishers, Dutch, French and the Portuguese people came to our country India with the intention of the trade. But slowly and gradually these started, as we don't have unity among ourselves, all the rulers were having the intention to defeat one another and not having the unity among themselves. The Britishers, Dutch, Portuguese, French, they started ruling in our country India. The 15th August 1947, before that Britishers for more than 200 years they stayed in our country India, and for 90 years they ruled in our country India. That was from the year 1857 to 1947. But after getting the independence from the hands of the Britishers, we started forming for our constitution. So taking care of the people. Now in our country India, we the people are always on the center, are always on the focus. Before the independence, we were not getting a chance to elect or select our own representative, but now every 5 years after the age of 18 years or 18 years or after the age of 18 years, we have got the right to select or elect the representative of our own choice. So along with that, we the people become the center, the focus of the government. Now here, this particular things we are getting from the government. First of all, there are the 4 things: the justice, the liberty, equality, fraternity. Now here, what about the justice? Now here, in a justice way, we are getting the justice in social way, economical way and the political way. From 3 aspects we are getting the justice from the government, that is from the social way, again I want to repeat you, economical way and the political way. Then we have studied the next topic, that is the liberty. Now before the independence we were not having the right to express our views, opinion, ideas in front of the others. But after the independence, when we become the center of the government, we the Indians got a chance to express our thought, expression, belief, faith and worship on the liberty base. Government gave us the chance to express our views, opinion, ideas. In our country India, we are having the land of diversity where Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi, SC, ST, OBC, general, all the people are living together, and we are given the right by the government to express our views, opinion, ideas in front of the others. Now equality. Now in our country India, before the independence also and now after the independence, now this year we have celebrated 75th Independence Day. So each and every person is equal in front of the law and in front of the government, whether he or she is belonging to SC, ST, OBC gender, or he or she is belonging to the Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi. There is no discrimination in our country India for caste, color and creed. So here it is being written status and of the opportunity. Now every people who is a part of the country India, they are always getting a chance to just have the opportunity from our country India. There is no discrimination on caste, color and creed. Now fraternity. The another meaning of fraternity is the brotherhood. In our country India, again I want to tell you that India is known as the land of diversity. When there was the partition of India and Pakistan, during that time 80 lakh people were being just forced out to leave the part of the Pakistan. So 80 lakh people who were considered to be the refugees were given a shelter, a shadow in our country India. And because of that only, India is famous for its fraternity, that is brotherhood, assuring the dignity of an individual. And in our country India, we are having the unity and all the people, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi, SC, ST, OBC, General, all the people are living together. Now here, what does the constitution mean? Now here, it has been said that a systematic compilation of a set of rules to run the government of a country is known as the constitution of the country. When the Britishers from the year 1857 to 1947, when they were ruling in our country India, during that time the rules and regulations were of the Britishers. But now in our country India, as we have formed the Indian constitution, we the people, according to our situation and according to our base, they are having the formation of the constitution. Now our constitution always start with preamble, that means justice, liberty, equality, fraternity among the people. Now here in our country India, our constitution is in two forms, that is written and unwritten form. Now, how already we have studied about that, what is preamble and how it is useful to the people, to the citizen of our country India. Now here, the next topic, that is, how was the Constitution of India formed? Now here, the Constitution of India is the statement of national goals and aims such as democracy, socialism, secularism and national unity in our country India. Now before the independence, already I have just said you, I just taught you that Britishers were the last European country who ruled in our country India. So from the year 1857 to 1947 they ruled in our country India, and during that time they made they just introduced different policy in our country India, and by that particular policy they demolished our Indian culture and Indian way in our country India. But later on, we just got independence on 15th August 1947. Now, before independence, we were completely, the last revolt against the Britishers was do or die. That was also being influenced by Gandhiji, that was the father of the nation. Now here, it is being said that already Britishers come to realize that now it's a time to leave our country India. So we got independence on 15th August 1947. But before that only we started forming for our constitution, and we started working for the formation of the constitution on 9th December 1946. Before the independence, because Britishers have given us the surety that let us by 15th August 1947 your India will be under your hands. All the rights which is being reserved by the Britishers, let us by 15th August 1947, all the rights are going to be given in the hands of the Indian leaders. So by knowing this, the Indian leaders started forming for our constitution on 9th December 1946. Now who were the prominent leaders who work out to form? With their prominent guidance and their intelligence, they just gave the guidance for the forming of the constitution. The leaders were Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first president of our independent India. He was the first president of our independent India. Then Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Without him, he was also known as the Iron Man of our country India. The reason behind that was when we got India from the clutches of the Britishers during that time, our India was divided into 562 princely states. With his intelligence, with his guidance, 559 states just involved in the Indian Union. Only the 3 states, that was Nizam of Hyderabad, Nawab of Junagadh and the King of Kashmir, was not ready to get just converted themselves into the Indian Union. So by his intelligence, he converted 562 princely states. Among only the 3 states were not agreed, 559 states joined the Indian Union. Then Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, Sardar Baldev Singh, all these people, and more than these people, apart from all these people, many of the people give guidance for the forming of the constitution in our country India. Now constitution scholars like Aladi Krishna Swami Iyer, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar is known as the president of the, he is also known as the father of the constitution, because he was given the responsibility to form the rules and regulations of our country India, and because of that only he was known as the president of the drafting committee and known as the father of the constitution. Then K.N. Munshi etc. just provided their guidance to form the constitution. Now among all the leaders, there were the 2 ladies who provided their guidance to form the constitution, that was Sarojini Naidu and Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit. Now we have started forming our constitution before the independence, that was on 9th December 1946. Now total time period to form the constitution was 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Within this particular time period, we form our constitution. Now total, how many meetings were held? There were total 166 meetings, and all the meetings were held on the particular part of Delhi, because Delhi is known as the capital of our country India. Now here we passed our constitution. Already we have started forming our constitution on 9th December 1946. That was being completed on 26th November 1949. But then also we started enforcing on our constitution on 26th January 1950. The reason, already we have completed with the forming of our constitution on 26th November 1949. But why then also we started working on our constitution on 26th January 1950? The reason behind that was back 20 years back, in the year 26th January 1930, Jawaharlal Nehru along with all the prominent leaders took an oath to have a complete Swaraj in our country India. On that particular day, they have declared India as an independent country, and because to remember this day, instead of work was being completed on 26th November 1949, to remember the oath of all the prominent leaders along with Jawaharlal Nehru, we started working on the constitution on 26th January 1950. This particular 26th January is known as the Republic Day, while 15th August is known as the Independence Day. Now let us study that why there is a necessity for the constitution. Now here, no country can function without a constitution. A constitution serves many objectives of each and every country. Whosoever is a democratic country who themselves declared after the independence, that is on 15th August 1947. We got independence from the hands of the Britishers, and later on we declared India as a democratic country where by the people, for the people and to the people is always there. We are always on the center. Before the independence, people were not on the center, in the center, but now we the Indian people, Indian citizens are in the center. There is a need of the constitution to control the particular rules and regulations and the management of the country, of the government. There is a need of the constitution. The second point, it is a document which finally leaves the ethos and the ideals of the particular country. It tells about the kind of government a country would have. It also tells how to run the administration of the particular country. So there is a need of the constitution, and the reason behind the need of the constitution is that if there will be no constitution, the rules and regulations will be not there. Whatever the people is going to desire, they are going to do, and to control the people, to make the people follow the rules and regulations, there is a need of the constitution. Now there are provisions in the constitution to check the misuse of the power by the leaders. Now already Indian leaders have got some of the reserved rights by the government. They are not misusing that is being checked by the constitution. If there will be no constitution, the leaders who are getting the power from the people, from the government, they are going to misuse the powers, and to control the rules and regulations and the powers of the leaders, there is a need of the constitution. And because of all these reasons, there is a need of the constitution. In our country India and all over the world, where there is a particular democratic country, there is a need of the constitution. If there will be no constitution, then the people and the particular leaders are going to misuse, and they are going to break the rules and regulations. Now the next topic, that is the salient features of the constitution. Now in this particular topic, we are going to study about the 3 points, that is democratic rule, second it is secularism, and the third, that is republic. Now what is democratic rule? After the independence on 15th August 1947, all the prominent leaders got a particular, because when we got India from the hands of the Britishers, from the clutches of the Britishers, India was being divided into 562 princely states. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, along with all the prominent leaders, decided, just promised the people that if you all are going to join the Indian Union, then you are going to get many benefits from the part of the country India. And because of that only, now during this particular days after the independence, we the people are on the center. To elect or select the government, we are getting the rights from the government, and that is known as the democratic rule. After the age of 18 years, we the citizen of the nation, the Indian people are just getting the right to elect or select the representative of our choice. No one can force us to elect or select by the force or by the management. We the Indians, after the independence, every 5 years the election is being held in our country India, and in that particular election, every 5 years after the age of 18 years, each and every citizen have got a right to elect or select the representative of their choice. So already we have completed about the democratic rule. Now the next topic, that is secularism. Now in our country India, before the independence also and after the independence also, we are having a land of diversity. The reason behind that is, in our country India, before the independence also, we were having different caste, culture and religion, that is Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi, a different type of category of the caste, that is SC, ST, OBC, general. So here, with a secularism, Indian government is giving a right to each and every citizen. Suppose I am born in Hindu culture and I want, after the age of 18 years, I want to change my culture, Hindu culture, into the another religion. I have got the authority from the government, from the constitution, with a particular part, with the salient features of this secularism. I can change my culture from my birth culture to the another culture. My parents or anyone cannot just oppose for this particular thing, and because of that only it is said, in India, the government does not confine to the norms of any particular religion. Indian citizens are not discrimination on the basis of their faith, sect or religion. We have got authority, we have got a right to change our religion, and in our country India, any of the particular citizen is not discrimination on caste, color and creed. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi, SC, ST, OBC, general, each and every person is getting the equal right in front of the constitution, and the government is also not having the discrimination on caste, color and creed. Now the next, that is the republic. In our country India, the government, the constitution which is working out, that gets the powers from the people. Some powers are direct or some powers are indirectly. Now it is being said that in our country India, from the president to the MLAs, each and every particular member of the constitution, their powers are not given to a single hand. Each and every particular part of the government, of the constitution, all the privileged people are not having all the powers reserved by their hands, and they are not getting that particular, as the powers are given to that particular people, they cannot misuse the power of the particular the thing which is given to by the constitution. So here it is being said that this particular features which is being made by the constitution, always the focus is on the center of the people. Now let us study about the function of the government. Now here the government is being divided into three parts. The main person who is handling the whole government, that is known as the president. President is guiding the three organs of the government, that is legislative, or we can say legislature, executive and the judiciary. All the information, all the rules and regulations and all the things, how the government is going to work out, that is always been when the session is going to be started, when the session is going to be completed in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. All these things is being decided by the president. Now, legislature is always making, now the working of the legislature, executive and the judiciary. Legislature makes the law, executive implements the law and judiciary, whosoever is not following the rules and regulations, then the work of the judiciary is to give the punishment to the offenders, to the criminals who are not following the rules and regulations. Now here, why in our constitution, legislative and executive is always working together, while judiciary is always kept away from the work of the legislative and executive. The reason behind that is the working of the legislative and executive is always kept separate from the work of the judiciary, because it is included with the PM and all the powerful people are been working in the legislative and executive, and to stop the partiality and not to have the partiality by the government, judiciary is always kept away from the working of the legislature and the executive. Now what thing is being included in the legislature? Legislature is being formed by the parliament. Now parliament is being divided into two parts, that is Lok Sabha, lower house, Rajya Sabha, that is upper house. Whenever how the bill becomes a law, always the particular bill is being discussed first of all in Lok Sabha, then it is being discussed in Rajya Sabha, and after having a discussion in Rajya Sabha, the bill is directly sent to the president. After the bill sent to the president with his particular guidance, again if the particular bill is okay, then he is signing the particular bill. But if he wants to give any suggestion, he is along with the suggestion sending the bill again to Lok Sabha. In the Lok Sabha, the bill is again discussed, then it moves towards the Rajya Sabha, and after being just resent the bill, after signing, after having the signing of the president, that particular bill becomes a law. Always this both are working together. If one of the Sabha is not working, means not working clearly or stop working, then this particular government is going to disturb. Now president is a particular particular person who just decides the starting session and ending session of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now here, executive implements, executing is having the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister is forming the Council of Minister. Every 5 years there is a change of the Prime Minister. After having the election, whosoever is just winning with the lots of vote with the election, that particular leader is considered to be the Prime Minister. Nowadays we are having the particular Prime Minister, that is Mr. Narendra Modi, that is belonging to BJP, that is Bharatiya Janata Party. Now this person, after winning the particular election, this person is forming the Council of Minister, and this particular people also belongs to the ruling party only. Now moving towards the judiciary. Judiciary, the highest court in the judiciary system, that is the Supreme Court, then the particular High Court, then the District Court and the Taluka Court. So here we have studied about the three organs of the government, that is legislature, parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, executive, that is Prime Minister, forming the Council of Minister, and judiciary, that is the superior one, that is the Supreme Court. Now let us study about the fundamental state. Now India is known as a democratic country. Our government is being divided into two parts, that is the central government and the state government. So work of our country India is being divided into three lists, that is union list is related to the central part, state list is related to the state part, while the particular work which is not included in the union list and the state list, the remaining work is being included in the concurrent list. So as India is a big country, most of the people are, all the diversity people are living in our country India, the work of the central government and the state government is divided into three lists, that is the union list. Union list is related to the center, state list is related to the state work, while the particular points which is not included in this two is included in the concurrent list. Always the laws framed by the central government are applicable to the entire nation, because central is a particular part. We are having many states in our country India, and each and every state have to follow one rules and regulations that is being made by the central government. Now the last topic of this particular chapter, that is the fundamental rights. We the Indians, when we got independence, before that for more than 200 years Britishers stayed in our country India. From the year 1857 to 1947, they ruled in our country India during that time. I want to share one incident with you all. Once in Agra, it was a rule made by the Britishers that whenever they are coming on the particular town area or anywhere, whenever they used to see the Britishers, they have to salute in front of the Britishers, and if they were not doing that particular thing, then they were considered to be the criminals. So by one of the different way, Britishers were completely just demolishing our Indian culture, destroying our Indian culture and pressurizing us that to follow their rules and regulations. We just started the last revolt, the last satyagraha against the Britishers was in the year 1942. That was the revolt do or die. Later on, Britishers come to realize that now it's a time to leave our country India, and they just declared that let us by the year 15th August 1947, all the rights which is being reserved by the Britishers will be in the hands of the leaders. So after that, when we got independence, before that only on 9th December 1946, we started forming for our constitution, and in the constitution the prominent leaders just work out, and here it is being said that after forming the constitution, the fundamental rights and most favorably whosoever declared themselves to be a democratic country, each and every country have got the same fundamental right. There is something 1920 change in the particular rules and regulations Otherwise, all the democratic countries are following the fundamental rights equal for each and every citizen of the democratic country. Now, here are some 5 fundamental rights given by the democratic country to the people of their nation. Now, equality before the law. Already I have talked with you that legislature and executive are working together, but judiciary is always kept away from the working of the legislative and executive. The reason behind that is never to do the partiality, because legislature and executive comprises of the powerful people, and to stop not to have the partiality in our country India, all are equal in front of the law. Freedom of religion, there is no discrimination on caste, color and creed. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi, SC, ST, OBC, general, all the people have got all the rights which is being given by the government. And with the secularism, with the salient feature of the secularism, we are enjoying the freedom of the religion. Now here, the third point, freedom of association and peaceful assembly. Now, the fourth point, freedom of speech and expression. Now, we, the Indians, after the independence, we, people are on the center of the government. Every 5 years, we are getting a chance to elect or select the representative who is going to run the government. So, we are allowed to express our views, opinion, ideas in front of the others. Now, here, the last point, right to constitutional remedies for the protection of the civil right. Many a time it has been said also that if we are not getting the civil rights from the particular constitution or the institution, then as a citizen we can have a file against the government in the judiciary. So here I am ending with a topic. Let us have a short recap of the things which we have studied. Now already we have studied about the preamble of the constitution. In our country India, our constitution works on the preamble, that is justice, liberty, fraternity, brotherhood. That all is working and being implemented in our country India. Now here it is being said, a set of compilation rules and regulations, that is just said as the constitution. In our country India, we are having 2 types of the constitution. One is in the written form, another is in the unwritten form. Now, before the independence, that was on 15th August 1947, Britishers were ruling in our country India. Before that, the Dutch, the French, the Portuguese were ruling in our country India. But before the independence, we just been make understood about that now we are going to get the freedom from the clutches of the Britishers, and we started working for the formation of the constitution on 9th December 1946. Now here, all the prominent leaders, Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who was the first president of our independent India, K.M. Munshi, and many more, Sarojini Naidu, Vijaya Lakshmi Pandit, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, all the prominent leaders work out to form the constitution. Now, total time taken to form the constitution, that was 2 years, 11 months and 18 days. Total 166 meetings were held, and all the meetings were held in Delhi. Later on, the particular pass of the constitution was on 26th November 1949. But then also, we started enforcing on our constitution was on 26th January 1950. The reason behind that, already we have completed with forming of our constitution on 26th November 1949. But then also to remember one of the great day, that was on 26th January 1930, along with Jawaharlal Nehru, all the prominent leaders have took an oath to have the freedom of the nation by hook or crook. And because to remember this particular oath, the resolution, this particular day is celebrated as the Republic Day. Then we have studied about the salient features of the constitution, democratic rule, secularism and republic. Already we have discussed in the class. Then we just studied about that why do we need a constitution. For each and every democratic country there is a need of the constitution. If there will be no constitution, then the particular people, the group of the people are not going to follow the regulations made by for the smooth administration to run the administration properly, there is a need of the constitution. Then we have studied about the organs of the constitution, that is our Indian constitution organ, they are being divided into three parts: legislature that makes the law, executive that implements the law, and judiciary that give the punishment to the offenders who are not following the rules and regulations. Now legislature comprises of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. Executive comprises of Prime Minister and the Council of the Minister, and judiciary, it is having the Supreme Court, then the High Court, then District Court and the Taluka Court. So here legislative and executive is always working together, while judiciary is always kept away from the working of the legislative and the executive, and the reason behind that is to not to have the partiality among the powerful people. Then we have studied about the federal state. As India is a great country, a big country with a great population, the working of the constitution is being divided into three lists, that is the union list, then state list and the concurrent list, and then the last one we have studied about this fundamental rights. That again I want to repeat: the fundamental rights, equality before the law, freedom of the religion, freedom of association and peaceful assembly, freedom of speech and expression, and the last point, that is right to the constitution remedies for the protection of the civil rights. So here I end with my topic. Thank you and have a nice day.